Good morning. Welcome to Woman's Hour on International Women's Day. It's going to be if I say so myself, we've got a good lineup for you this morning, including Carrie Underwood. Welcome, Carrie. Great to have you here. You are one of the world's most successful performing and recording artists, so fantastic to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Have you got any facts and figures at your fingertips about how many shed loads of CDs and songs and stuff you've shifted?
I mean, I'm really bad with numbers. My goal has just always been to do well enough to keep being blessed to be able to do what I do.
Okay, well, a good answer. And Carrie is a sellout. She's at the O2 for the country to country music. Can't get a ticket for that, but she's going to perform live for us in about 10 minutes' time. Really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Also today, Women for Britain and Women In. Both are after your votes in the European referendum on the 23rd of June. Has the debate so far been far too male and pale? What do you think about that? At BBC Woman's Hour on Twitter. No better day, really, to honour the life and work of a woman called Edith Morley, who was Britain's first female professor. Did you make a friend when you were pregnant for the first time? Well, you'll be interested in a film that comes out later this week. It's a psychological thriller called The Ones Below. And that friendship... Well, no, I'll leave it there. I'll let you worry about it. And why could you take advantage of disruptive innovation? That's on Woman's Hour as well today. So, Carrie, you won. The thing that people might in this country know you for was your start in the business, which was winning American Idol. Right. This was back in 2005. Mm-hmm. Now, had a country... I mean, was it the first year of that show?
No. I was season 4.
Right, okay. Had a country artist ever won before?
Not one. There'd been a couple kind of sprinkled in there in maybe the top 10 or 12 or 24 or whatever. And, but yeah, I was the first one to actually win.
And why do you think you cut through? What was it about you?
No idea. I think people could maybe relate to my story, and where I grew up was just the most normal of normal places. And
well, where was it? Tell us.
I grew up in a really small town in Oklahoma, and my parents were just hardworking people, and I feel like people could maybe just connect with me and my story.
Well, were they musical people?
My parents?
Yeah.
No. My mom always had a decent singing voice, but she was a 5th grade teacher, and my dad worked at a paper mill.
So they were busy people.
Yeah, busy with their jobs, and me and my sisters.
Right. How many sisters have you got?
2 sisters.
Okay. And are they part of your entourage?
No. They were both kindergarten teachers back in Oklahoma.
Oh, so they followed your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've gone your own way.
Yes.
Now, I mean, country music in Britain, I don't want to offend many country music fans in this country, but I guess it's still a bit niche here, relatively speaking. Not so, of course, in the States.
No, it's definitely, I mean, huge in the States, and I feel like it's just taken some time to get artists like myself to make the effort because there's definitely a fan base, and now music, any genre of music is just very accessible. It's more accessible than it's ever been, and people can hear a song on a commercial or a radio or a morning talk show and go and download it immediately. So I feel like it's just it's up to us to make the effort to come over and say thank you to the fans that we do have here.
Well, I'm sure your fans appreciate it. Your songs are their stories, aren't they? I mean, this new CD is Storyteller.
Yeah.
And the song you're going to play for us is called Chaser. We'll hear that in a couple of minutes. But many of your songs are little soap operas, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, country music's always been it's done that well. We're allowed to be clever, and we're allowed to tell stories, whether it's purely for entertainment value or we're kind of speaking on life issues and things that people can relate to and hear their own story in your music. I mean, it's what we do best,
yeah,
I
think it is. But also, people sometimes miss the humour. There's quite a dark humour in country, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, we can, like I said, we can be clever.
Yeah.
And people can be silly and tell silly stories. Or
I mean, there really is a country song called "You're the Reason My Kids Are So Ugly."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loretta, I believe.
Yes, it was. And so it's not all the idea that you're sort of super sincere. You are in some ways, but there's a wonderful self-mockery going on, which the British like when we pick up on that kind of thing. It goes down well over here. Your son is now a year old.
He just turned a year old.
Okay, and you are married to an ice hockey star.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Isaiah. Isaiah, your son.
Isaiah, yes.
I apologise.
No.
Is he, what is he, musical or sporty? What's he going
I
to be?
think he's a little bit of both. I mean, we'll see. We'll try to cultivate whatever it seems like he's interested in, or he might not be either. I don't know. But he's definitely interested in, like, commercials come on TV, and if they have music in the background, he's kind of drawn to them. And but he's also, he was an early, crawler and walker, and he can climb stuff, and so he seems to be quite physical. So we'll just see.
Okay, now, it's not without controversy, the music scene in the States, nor is music radio. And there's been a bit of a row recently, hasn't there, about the prominence, or lack of it, of female artists on country radio. Now, explain that, because our audience won't be up on that completely.
Well, I mean, if you look at the chart, there's really in the top, like, 25 or 30, generally only 1 or 2 female artists in that group of,
You'd be there.
of people. I'm one of the lucky ones, yeah.
Well, I'm quite talented, it has to be said.
thank you.
But move on.
There's a lot of talented females in country music, and I think they're just kind of waiting for their opportunity. So I think it's something that's recently had a light shined on it, and we're talking more and more about it, which is important. That's the first step in fixing things.
Yeah. Stick your head above the parapet and say something. What was that quote I read about a guy who programs the music, comparing country music radio to salad?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said in the salad that is, I'm not directly quoting,
No,
by the way.
Don't worry.
Paraphrasing. And in the salad that is country music, the guys are the lettuce and the women are the tomatoes.
Yeah, which suggests you can be sprinkled, but you're not really important.
Right. Which I prefer the tomatoes in salad, I'm just saying.
Well, you say tomato and we say something else. But I actually am not keen on salad, to be honest with you,
really?
Carrie,
Okay.
which probably explains why you look like you do and I don't quite. So, I mean, are you unafraid to be controversial and to say stuff?
I mean, I wouldn't, I don't make it a point to, try too hard to be loud and voice my opinion, but I'm certainly willing to talk about things. And like I said, I mean, it's all about shining a light on it and talking about it. And now that I feel like we're aware of it, people are opening their eyes. They have things now that are like, Woman Wednesday or whatever, where radio stations are playing more and more women on Wednesday.
On Wednesdays.
hopefully the rest of the days of the week too. But,
Yeah. Well, it's like you say, it's a start.
Step one, yeah.
Yeah, little steps. So your songwriting is really important. I was looking. I mean, you get a songwriting credit on the majority of the songs on the Storyteller album, and Chaser, the one you're going to sing for us, is something that you contributed to.
Yeah.
How important is all that to you?
I mean, I want the best songs possible for my album, so to be honest, when I go in and write, I'm basically submitting my co-writes with the rest of the songs, and I'm the first one that would say, well, that's not good enough, so I'm probably more critical of my own stuff than I am of demos that we get in from other writers.
But if you get a good song in from somebody else,
oh yes,
you'll go for it.
Nashville has the best songwriters, not just country music songwriters, but songwriters anywhere in that town. So I'd be kind of silly not to ignore their music. I like to consider myself able to tell their story as well as I can tell my own. And
Taylor Swift I think you're part of her squad. You've certainly sung with her, haven't you, during her tour?
I have not.
You haven't, so I've completely got that wrong. That's my daughter who's in for a reel when I get home. So you're not a friend of Taylor Swift and you've never sung with her, but she crossed over and left country behind in a way, I suppose. I don't think you want to do that, do you?
I love where I'm at. I grew up listening to country music and I'm happy there, and I love the fans that I've gotten from being in country music, so I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
Well, we're going to hear you now singing your song Chaser.
Yes,
so Carrie, if you can go over to the mic, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. This is Carrie Underwood live on Woman's Hour with a song from her CD and her collection of stories and songs, Storyteller, and this is Chaser. In your own time, Carrie.
Something strong tonight. I'm needing me 100 proof, something to erase my mind and rid me of the thought of you. Ain't gonna water it down when I say somebody else. Yeah, I never should have failed. Yeah, boy, you're nothing but a chaser. You're looking at me and thinking of her, and it cuts me like a razor. And you ain't doing me any kind of favor, sticking around this one-horse town tonight. You can follow her tracks, you can try to win her back, put the miles on your tires till you run out of gas. I'm done letting you be my heartbreaker, so go ahead and chase her. Yeah, the grass ain't always greener over on the other side. You'll never learn when you're a leaver. It's just a part of your design, 'cause you're the kind that can't stay for too long in the same place. You'll be looking for me when you change your mind. Yeah, boy, you're nothing but a chaser. You're looking at me and thinking of her, and it cuts me like a razor. And you ain't doing me any kind of favor, sticking around this one-horse town tonight. You can follow her tracks, you can try to win her back, put the miles on your tires till you run out of gas. I'm done letting you be my heartbreaker, so go ahead and chase her. So go ahead and chase her. It's the thrill, it's the hunt, it's the love of the game. It's the get what you want and then you throw it away. It's the rush of the fall, not the land. It's the catcher if you can, catcher if you can. Yeah, boy, you're nothing but a chaser, and it cuts me like a razor. You ain't doing me any kind of favors tonight. You can try to win her back, put the miles on your tires till you run out of gas. I'm done letting you be my heartbreaker, so go ahead and chase her. So go ahead and chase her. It's the thrill, it's the hunt, it's the love. You catch her if you can, catch her if you can. It's the thrill, it's the hunt, it's the love. You catch her if you can, catch her if you can.
Carrie, great. Thank you very, very much
you
for
so
being with
much.
us today.
Thanks
Really
for having
appreciate it. Carrie Underwood, and this from Caroline on Twitter, who says, if that's country music, then I am a fan. Awesome live performance. It's true. I mean, that people who can do that, like Carrie, at 10:15 in the morning, let's face it, it is early. That was fantastic. Thank you all, and thanks to the band as well. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.